What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Chelsea just drew 2-2 against Newcastle at St. James Park, and yeah, it was definitely a game of two halves. And I can't say I'm disappointed because yes, the fight from the players to come back into the game the second half was good. The first half was very disappointing, but the second half, the way the players came into the game, the fight that they showed, it showed that they really were there to play for the badge. And I don't know what Maresca told them at the halftime break, but it just gingered them, it just energized them, and they were able to score 2 goals in the second half. But I feel like we could have scored more. We could have won the game, especially if we started the game the way we started the second half. We could have won the game, but for some reason we only decided to wake up the second half. I mean, it wasn't the best of performances from us. Second half was definitely better than the first half. So we'll talk about everything in this video, so let's get straight to it. So we start with the lineup. The main change to the lineup was that Enzo Fernandez started on the bench, and that meant that James and Caicedo were the midfield pivot, and Gusto also started as at the right back position, but everywhere else was the same. Palmer starting again, and then number 10 position, Joao Pedro, Neto, Garnacho, everybody starting in their regular positions. Garnacho coming off brilliant 2 goals in the Carabao Cup against Cardiff, so I think he deserved the start. And yeah, we'll talk more about these players going on, but the game started fairly well for us. I think like the first 5-6 minutes were dominating possession, were the ones controlling the ball, but all of a sudden, like, Newcastle just woke up. Even when we were controlling the possession, whenever we lost the ball, you could see that Newcastle's attack was precise. Like, there was some intent behind it, because the way they worked the ball, the way they passed the ball amongst us was, it was, I hate to say it, but it was brilliant. And they got a very early goal, I think in the 6th minute or the 7th minute. It came from Voltemade, that tall player of theirs. I think Chelsea were interested in signing him before he went to Newcastle, but we ended up signing Delap instead. Yeah, it was a good goal from him. The ball was dispossessed. I think Fofana decided to run into the midfield. I don't know what he was doing in the midfield, but he was dispossessed, and then that started the attack for Newcastle. It found Murphy on the right side, and Murphy put in a very good cross to find Gordon, who also hit it back inside. And I don't know, for some reason, Fofana slipped, trying to prevent Voltemade from getting to the initial cross, and he was on the ground, so he couldn't even properly reach the ball to clear it, and it fell to Voltemade, and he scored. It was a very good attack from them, very good counter attack from them, and yeah, it was a wake up call, but our players didn't wake up. It was supposed to be a wake up call, but our players didn't wake up. They were still playing the way they were playing. They were still making poor passes. They were still losing 50-50 chances. They were still losing possession in the midfield. Palmer in the beginning didn't really do well for me. He wasn't making any big impact in the game in the first half. Some of his passes were wayward. He was losing possession. It wasn't just him. We're losing that midfield battle. James and Caicedo, they were losing that midfield battle, and it was a very serious issue in the first half. And the pressure from Newcastle too didn't really help things. They were really applying pressure, and their pressure paid off, and they got a second goal from Voltemade, which came as a result of a beautiful cross from Gordon, and it found Voltemade. And I feel like that goal, Sanchez should have saved that goal. He should have saved that shot from going in, but fortunately it crept past Sanchez, and Voltemade got his brace, and he almost got a hat-trick from another really good Gordon cross, but he just ended up hitting it wide. And that chance really pissed me off, because it was entirely our fault. Palmer was brought down in the midfield, and for some reason some of our players just decided to stop running, because they thought the referee will whistle. You always have to play to the whistle. We've been saying this so many times. You always have to play to the whistle. Don't stop because you think the referee is going to blow the whistle. When he blows the whistle, then you stop. But because of that, we delayed in tracking back, falling back to prevent Gordon from getting the end of that cross. But fortunately for us, he put it wide. He missed that chance. So yeah, we're fortunate that he didn't get a hat-trick because of that. And that was how the first half went. The first half was all Newcastle, but we were able to soak that pressure and go into the halftime break trailing by 2 goals to nil. And it wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good at all. And It was a very, very frustrating half. Nothing was working for us. Nothing was working. I don't even think we even had a proper shot on target. But they had, I think they had like 5 or 6 shots in the first half that were all on target. That was insane. That was insane. 2 of them ended up being goals. That was insane. And we didn't really have any. And Canacho and Neto on the right and left hand side, they were very frustrating to watch, man. I've said this many times. The like Ganacho especially, he does everything right. He does everything right to find himself in good position, take players on. Most of the times, sometimes he passes it backwards and it annoys me. But he most of the times he's able to take players on. He's able to put in a very good cross at times, but sometimes nobody is there to put it in. But when he comes face to face to scoring, then he just hits it wide. I just don't understand why. This game he could have had like our previous Premier League game. He could have had like 2 or 3 goals in this game, but his finishing was very, very poor. And Pedro Neto too on the other side too. He was doing a lot of the things that I've talked about so many times. He ran into the box. We start a very good counter, ran into the box, and then he ends up passing it backwards or passing it to a Newcastle player, and then we lose possession. It doesn't make any sense sometimes. So watching the 2 of them was very, very frustrating, especially Garnacho. He played a full 92, so that even makes it more frustrating. He could have had goals, he could have scored goals, but for some reason he wasn't scoring. So we went to the halftime break trailing by 2 goals to 0. But this is where Enzo Maresca does very well. His halftime talks. Since he joined Chelsea, we've seen this time and time again. And whenever we are doing poorly in the first half, for some reason his halftime talks always ginger the players, always wake the players up, motivates them to do better in the second half. And boy, did we do better in the second half. That second half was good. The way we started at least was very, very good for us. And if we had applied more pressure, we could have gone for the jugular and just ended this by taking full points, but we weren't able to do it. So we got an equalizer earlier on the second half from a free kick from Reece James. A free kick that I wasn't expecting him to score this free kick, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to score it at all, but he took it brilliantly and found the left corner of the goal. And the way Ramsdale was positioned, there was no way he was reaching that. So it went in. And yeah, we know Reece James can score free kicks like that. We know he has the talent to score free kicks like that. Reece James himself in the entirety of the game was just brilliant, to be honest. He was brilliant. Even the first half, where I felt like the midfield battle was being lost to Newcastle. He was the better one between him and Caicedo. Caicedo was struggling more in the first half than he was. But second half, both of them upped their games and they were solid. But especially James getting the goal, and then at the end, to the dying minutes, he also saved us. Harvey Barnes was through on goal, and Reece James was able to. I don't know whether I'll say he was able to, but I feel like some referees would have given that and said that was a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, because it was just Reece James was the last man and he grabbed did he grab him? Maybe he tagged Harvey Barnes, and Harvey Barnes was already going down before James reached there, or James touched him and he went down. So VAR checked it and it was cleared. But yeah, James was immense. There was another chance to Weiser put Harvey Barnes through an on goal, and James ran to close that gap and was able to block any shot from going through, and it went out for a corner. I mean, he's good. He's very, very good. We know James is excellent, so he's been good. He's been good in that this midfield position where Maresca is using him, and he has grown and matured there, and he's doing very well there. And yeah, to me, he was our best player on the pitch. So we scored that goal from Reece James, and then shortly after we got another one from João Pedro. I was very critical of João Pedro throughout the game leading up to that goal. Even afterwards too, I was a little bit critical of him, but he has scored, so I gave him some slack. But the first half, again, he was doing a lot of the things that we've come to see of João Pedro. Like, he wasn't pressing enough. He was losing a lot of possession. But I like this link-up play. He was coming out to link up with the midfielders, link up with Palmer, link up with Garnacho, Neto, and going back into the box. I liked the link-up play, but for some reason, he also got some opportunities where he could have done better with. Some of this passing to this decision making too was very poor in the first half, but the second half he was better. He was far better, and he scored a goal as a result of that. It came from a long pass from Sanchez, which found him. Sanchez was very, very good to read his run and saw him early and put in a very good pass to find him. And he was able to take the ball. Joao Pedro was able to take the ball down quickly. He was a little bit fortunate because the defender that was marking him slipped, and then Joao Pedro was through in on goal, and he slotted it beautifully right beneath Ramsdale, and he scored, making it 2-2. And yeah, it lifted the spirits of the Chelsea fans in the stadium. It lifted the spirits of the Chelsea fans like me watching at home. I mean, he did very well, and he put us level. That gave us some hope that we could win this game. And I tweeted after this goal that please, Chelsea, don't slow down your momentum. Don't slow down at all after that goal. And for like 5 minutes after that goal, we're not slowing down. We're still pressing. We're attacking. Garnacho had a few chances where I thought he could have just buried the game and made it 3-2, but for some reason he didn't do that. And then Enzo Maresca took Palmer off, and when Enzo Maresca took Palmer off, it just slowed down the attack. I don't know. Enzo Fernandez also came on in the second half, and it also helped our attack, and yeah, it made our attack sharper. Him and Palmer were linking up very well. They were playing very well together. And I don't know, when he took Palmer off, it just slowed down our attack. He brought in Andre Santos. Andre Santos can do that. He can progress the ball. He can do a little bit of the work that Palmer was doing, but he's not Palmer. So sometimes I don't know why he decides to make that decision, especially in a game where we want to win, and he takes Palmer off. And I don't know, I feel like he thought Andre Santos can do the same thing, but it just slowed down our momentum, slowed down our attack, and then it made Newcastle come into the game more. After our second goal, they brought on Harvey Barnes, they brought on Elanga, and they brought on Weiser, and these three really made a difference, especially Harvey Barnes. He really made a difference. Elanga also had a very good chance where a lot of Newcastle fans would have wanted him to bury that. Fortunately for us, he played it wide, and then Harvey Barnes also had a couple of chances. There was a very good one where he put wide. It was a very good cross that came in, and Sanchez was nowhere near that side of the goal. So if it was on target, Harvey Barnes was definitely scoring, but I don't know, I think he reached it too late, or I don't know, he didn't gauge it well. Fortunately for us, he missed it. So yeah, we saw the game out and we got a 2-2 draw, and yeah, I mean, we don't need a draw at this moment. Yes, we are still fourth, but there are other teams that are still yet to play. So we will see at the end of the game week whether we are still fourth. But we should have won this game, especially with the way we built that momentum in the second half. The way we came out in the second half, we could have scored more. After the second one, we tried to press. It wasn't really working because, like I said, Garnacho got the chance and he didn't score. I think Pedro Neto also got a very good shot on target where Ramsdale saved. And yeah, we could have won this game. We really could have won this game. Based on our second half performance alone, we could have won this game. But in the first half, Newcastle were the better team. And getting to the end of the game too, they were the better team. So I don't know, we'll take the point and go back home to Stamford Bridge. We face Aston Villa next, and Aston Villa, I think they are third on the table, and that is also going to be an interesting one. The good thing about it is that I think we are playing them at home. Makes it better for us. We've been very good at home this season. I think this Newcastle game, if we played at home, we probably beat them. They beat Arsenal and they are on a 9-game unbeaten run. So they've not played any draw in 9 games. They've not lost any games in 9 games. And yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's definitely going to be a tough one. But I trust my players. I trust my squad. Should I even trust them? Yes, I trust them. I trust them to deliver at home. So I'm looking forward to that game. So that's been it for my review. Let me know what you think about everything I said in the comment section down below. What do you think about our draw? Are you excited? Are you happy about it? Are you okay about it? Are you disappointed? Are you mad about it? Let's know in the comment section down below, and let me know what your thoughts are in general about Chelsea in this month. We've played 6 games in December, 2 losses, 2 draws, 2 wins, and yeah, our December war seems to continue. It seems to be continuing. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you're not subscribed yet, kindly subscribe, hit the video a like. It helps the channel a lot, pushes the channel out there for other Chelsea fans like yourself to watch this video. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.